This episode of The Young Turks is brought to you by Jack Threads.
One of the things that Gary Johnson wants to do is, end child labor laws. That sounds like a great idea. He's against the Fair Standards Practices Act because that's a crazy law, actually. It's a little outdated. It sets things like the ban on child labor and the minimum wage, and that if people work a certain amount of hours, you have to pay them. It's a stupid law, anachronistic. Let's get rid of it. So he'd like to end it because he would like to see kids work. One of the great things that he says to support this law is that it seems wrong to have child labor laws. I swear to God, this is what Gary Johnson believes. He thinks that we shouldn't have child labor laws because if a 70 or 75-year-old man has a problem with his computer, it's crazy that he can't pay a 10-year-old to fix it. So let's get rid of the child labor laws. Because that's what the child labor laws were enacted for, to prevent grandpa from giving a couple bucks to his grandson to help him figure out that if you hit Control, Alt, and Delete, that will give you the option to shut down programs that aren't responding. There's a couple of bucks, but then the feds will come get you. So Gary Johnson is insane. By the way, I don't think Gary Johnson's a liar. I have no evidence of that. So Gary Johnson then, Think Progress caught up with Gary Johnson and asked him about the Fair Standards and Practices Act, if that's in fact what it's called. Gary Johnson gave what can only be described, again, because he would like to repeal child labor laws. Gary Johnson gave, as you'll see, as peculiar a response as you could possibly imagine.
Do you think that the Fair Labor Standards Act, for instance, would pass constitutional muster?
I think that they do go overboard. Mm-hmm. That these protections do really exist, and that we elected a black president. I think that we clearly have shown that we are colorblind, I guess. Colorblind, and we're not a discriminate nation.
Fair Labor and Standards Act, by the way. I think they go overboard, but we did elect a black president. So we're not a discriminate nation. Okay, well, great. All right, I got that. He sounds like the next president, doesn't he? He's on it, thoughtful, interesting, moronic. What was going on there?
He had no idea what it was. He had no clue, obviously.
No, yeah.
But whatever stance he's had on it, someone fed it to him then, and he didn't have that guy in his ear.
Yeah.
So he's like, oh, I've never heard of this before. What is this?
But I mean, Fair Labor and Standards Act, I think sometimes they go too far. And then, but we did elect a black president. What? You think he just picked up the word fair?
He picked up fair and labor. Fair labor, he's like, oh, that's right. I'm against this. I know I can say they went too far. I got that one done, right? I got that one sold up. After that, it must have something to do with black guys.
He just needed to stop at far. But they sometimes go too far. And then the guy doesn't. But we did elect a black president. And he's from here, as far as I know. I'll take him at his word.
Jack Threads is a new sponsor for TYT. They're a members-only online shopping club, but because you know us, you're going to get in. Aren't we cool? But here's a key part to it, 80% off. Hello, up to 80% off of some of the top apparel lines in the country. Game over.
Right.
So go to jackthreads.com/TYT because it's free to join, and you get all those discounts, and you avoid the pain in the ass. The ending of this commercial is a little schwang wang wang.